All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to our Learn More event. So this is a monthly event that we do on Zoom that just is a chance to look at how doTERRA works for people to create another stream of income, which I know most of our events are product focused, and we love that. We love educating people on the product, but there is this other really cool side, which is the wellness advocate option that allows people to create another stream of income for their household at all different levels. Let me make sure we got everybody muted here. Joined by Dana and Twinka, who are going to teach part of tonight. And we're just excited to jump into this topic. I love this because it really changed my life and it opened up my eyes to something that I didn't know was possible. And I'm so grateful that someone took the time to share this with me so that I could walk into this opportunity, and it really has changed things for my family. So I won't go down that path right now. We're going to go ahead and just dive into the content of tonight, and we each are going to tell you a little bit about doTERRA and who can do the advocate option, what it's like, what kind of help you would get, and then obviously like the money piece, the income piece. How does that work? What could you expect? What are some options? How does doTERRA compensate their advocates? All of that. And then you're welcome to pop questions into the chat, and we can always address those at the end or answer them in the chat as we go. So before we start, I'm going to read you a little something because we probably saw this class promoted or this event promoted and looked at that like another stream of income. That's kind of interesting because right now, what everyone's talking about is multiple streams of income with the economy and where it is today. That multiple streams of income concept has never been more relevant as it is today. Gone are the days of a 40-year career with like one salary and one pension plan. Gone are the days of that single income household being able to, accomplish all of that just with that one income. And more often than not, people, whether they are single or married, couples are having to look at this income diversification concept in order to build their financial income flow to multiply, to meet the growing demand of inflation and costs of everything, or to increase their their long-term plan stability or their wealth building, any of those things, getting out of debt, all of that. And so we like to look at doTERRA as not just, hey, it's a way to make money, but it is a way to generate another stream of income that can be used as seed money to create other sources of income. Okay, so we're not just talking about one more source of income, we're talking about doTERRA as a really great vehicle that can create another source of income that then you can use wisely to even invest in other streams of income, not just to have more spending money, but to really multiply that income diversity. And so I have a couple of just real short testimonials I'm going to read before we start. And these are from people in doTERRA. I asked a question in a Facebook group of people in doTERRA, how has your doTERRA income created a source that you were able to invest in other streams of income? And what are those other streams of income? Just really curious about it. I got a lot of testimonials, and I'm just going to share 6 of them with you tonight. Okay, some are like a paragraph, some are like one sentence, so it won't take us long. Now we're going to play a little game. There's a lot of things you can do with a new stream of income. You can give more, you can increase your lifestyle, you could travel more, you could do a lot of fun things, you could do meaningful things, but not all of those are going to actually create multiple other streams of income. So what I want you to think about assets. I want you to think about, on this list, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read these testimonials. Which of the things that these particular 6 people mention are income producing in and of themselves? It's like, I was able to purchase this or invest in this, and it's an asset to even create more income. Okay, so I want you to try to count how many you hear as I read through these 6 testimonials. And then we're going to just kind of see how close you get. So the first one is someone said, I am paying my way through midwifery school, something I've always wanted to do for 20 years. But it's not just being able to pay for the school that's the most important. It's not having to work a job while I'm in school full time and on call full time for births. That's the amazing part. But more than that, and I will say this forever, it is what I have gained personally by building a doTERRA business that has given me the knowledge, experience, and confidence to go build whatever other business I want. And the knowing that I have it in me to do it because of what I was able to do with doTERRA. The trajectory is incredible. I am going to run a big birth center. I am going to run a nonprofit. The one I am part of right now delivered over 1,000 babies in 2023 completely for free to the most impoverished women in the Western Hemisphere. That, I think, the work she does there is in Haiti. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second one. And this one just said, we have been able to invest in rental properties, increase investing into retirement funds, and we've been able to invest money into expanding my husband's real estate business. Number 3, we purchased our first home, which is now an Airbnb in Waco, Texas. We also purchased half of my brother's home to do a second Airbnb with him. And we're now living in London to continue building our business, our doTERRA business, and support a new church plant there. Okay, so number 4, with our doTERRA income, we have paid off all debts and mortgage. We bought a second home up north, and that's a real estate investment that we currently use as an office for doTERRA. We've done some additional investments. I'm assuming that means stock market. We do annual volunteer and disaster relief work, and the biggest joy is contributing to our kids' and parents' assets as well. Number 5, I have invested into some film projects that I produce. I also bought a vintage movie theater. I thought that was so interesting. And then number 6, the last one, I paid off student loans. I opened 2 529 custodial accounts for each of our kids. I started another educational account that is up to $12,000 at the moment, and my kids are under 5 years old. I bought 3 different real estate rental properties. I've invested into the stock market. We've expanded our Roth IRAs and retirement accounts. And then, of course, we gave more to our church and charities. We paid for homeschooling supplies and babysitting for our home business. And we love giving to the Healing Hands Foundation. Also, we have 0 credit card debt. Okay, so that was 6 testimonials. Did you guys count? I want to know how many you got. So if you could pop into the chat there. Hang on, my Zoom, I can't see my chat. Do you have any guesses? I don't know if you guys, 20, Dana guessed 20. Any other guesses? So I'll tell you, it's probably like a range because we're going to count them differently. You know, if I invested in 3 Airbnbs, does that count as 1 or 3? I counted 17 plus out of 6 testimonials, 17 plus income streams beyond just the doTERRA income stream that were created from those six people's stories. So I think that's really inspiring. I know doTERRA has helped my husband and I invest in other income streams, from stocks to education funds, IRAs, and even some vacation rental property, that kind of thing. So we're going to get into our actual content tonight. And one thing that I want to mention is a lot of times people kind of come into this a little skeptical. I will admit I did when I first heard about doTERRA's wellness advocate opportunity. And I thought, is this going to be slimy? Are they going to try to drag me into something? I don't want to be convinced. And I always tell people, we're not in the business of convincing. We're here to share just an incredible opportunity with you that has been an awesome blessing to a lot of people. And if it's something you want to pursue, that's amazing. We're here to give you the information, and we can point you to the tools and the support if it's something you want to do. But at the end of the day, if it's not a fit for you, then it's not a fit for us. You know, we don't want you to do something that you don't want to do. We want what's best for you, and we want you to have the freedom to decide that. Okay, so I'm going to first introduce Dana. Dana, if you can come on. Dana's going to help us answer the question, how do we know what we know, and how do we learn about the product and become experts, you know, so that we can help someone with their health? Because I knew nothing coming in, you know, about health, and And that was a little bit of a question I had for sure.
Yeah. Hey Tanya, I realize I'm in a totally different spot tonight. Do you have your book that you can show when I'm talking about the book close by?
Oh, what book? Oh, is it the build guide? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the oh, whatchamacallit?
Oh,
The Essential Life
I'm
book.
sorry, I got a little confused on what book you were talking about
The
in your.
Essential Life book, and the
The
name just
Essential
escaped
Life.
me.
You know what? I don't have that
Okay.
one here, but I've got, actually I moved it to the other room, so I don't. That's
No,
okay.
I'm not in my office. Yeah,
Let's
we'll
just
pretend.
pretend like Dana has her book.
Yes. I'm normally in my office, but it's
It's
so
fine. I
pretty
can even look
outside.
up a
I'm
picture
on
on
my
my
sun's
phone.
porch. All right. So sorry, y'all. All right. So I am a registered nurse of 25 years, and I've actually, um, so all of this, so I know a lot about healthcare and the human body. I knew nothing about natural healthcare. And when people started trying to like tell me about this, I was very, very skeptical and apprehensive. I think I called it a lot of different names, hooey, voodoo, snaky, lots of things I called it. But as time went on, I really became intrigued. And fast forward just as like maybe a year into like dabbling in oils, I was like, I don't want to do the work that I'm doing for the rest of my life. Being a bedside nurse, it's very hard. It's hard physical work. It's very hard mentally. And I knew that I wanted something else. And so I actually went to the person that had introduced me to oils and was like, be interested in the business side of this. And so I went in going like, what is this and how is it going to work? And when I decided I was going to do it, I jumped all in. I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to be able to leave my nursing career. And I'm really so thankful that I did, because I didn't expect to leave my career when I did. I actually left unexpectedly in 2021 due to unexpected circumstances. And when we were able to sit down and look, we were like, you know what? doTERRA's giving us enough that we can, you can leave the hospital, and doTERRA you can continue to work and make up the rest. And so what a blessing that has been in our life. And even though I'm a nurse, most of us are not. So don't think that you have to be a healthcare expert. And even I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose. I can't prescribe. And so really, I see myself more of a health coach now than even a nurse, so to speak. I walk alongside people and educate them on natural solutions and foundational health. And that's what we as wellness advocates do with people, is we help them walk towards better health and foundational health for themselves. So as a wellness advocate, we use this book, and I use this book, but my book is on the other side of the house. It's called The Essential Life, and it's amazing. You can open it up, and it's got all of these resources. It tells you what to do with the oils. It has ailments in it, and it tells you like what to do for XYZ problem, which oils to use, which products to use. It's like, it's our lifeline.
And Dana, just so you know, Katrina just put in the chat that she has the book sitting in front of her, so she can put it up on the
Oh,
screen there too.
yes. Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate you doing that. I moved it where I can't see the chat. So yeah, you can hold that up for us. And this book is it's really a lifeline. I've been here for 6 years, and I still use this book more than once a week. I mean, I don't even know what I would do without it. So now you can purchase this book for yourself, or the advocate that you enrolled with may actually have an incentive program that we use to encourage folks. And it's a gift. Once you have enrolled 5 qualifying customers in 30 days, then some of us are actually giving this away as a gift. So you can check with your advocate to see if that's something they're doing. There's also an app you can put on your phone, and it's really searchable. I love the app. The app actually almost mimics the book, and I use the app all the time too. I use that on the go and screenshot things to people. So you don't have to know everything. Okay. In fact, you can really know almost nothing. I remember in the beginning, I mean, I'm telling you, I knew nothing. I felt like I was back in like, like getting all the basics again. So you really can go into this, and if you've got the right tools and the right people around you, you're going to learn as you go. We're here to help you, and you can ask questions and whatnot. So you have us, and you have these amazing groups that somebody else is going to talk about in a minute, but you also have access to trainings from actual doctors at doTERRA. And we point you to some other helpful resources where you can find recommendations and information on supplements and essential oil usage. So you're going to have everything you need. What you really just need to take in is that we're going to equip you with everything you need. I've had all the tools I've needed right at my fingertips, and I assure you, you will too.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And thank you for saying that even as a medical professional. I mean, I came into this as a hairdresser, so I didn't know anything about either kind of, medicine or how to take care of ourselves. And, I've been doing this for over a decade, and I still just really rely on the tools and the resources because
Mhm.
sometimes it actually, you don't grow as much income when you're like a know-it-all coming in and just like, oh, I'm like the pharmacist for essential oils. It doesn't work so great in our business. It's much more empowering to just go, I just know how to use these tools and I can empower you to use tools in your home, and it makes people feel like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. So I'm going to bring Twinka on next, actually. Twinka is going to talk a little bit about the kind of support and training that you would get from our team. And this is really going to be a launching pad based on what Dana already told us. So Twinka, would you mind unmuting and maybe sharing a little bit about how you came to be a wellness advocate and a little bit about the training and support we have?
So I was introduced to doTERRA in 2015. I just moved back from Costa Rica, and I was introduced by someone offering a free diffuser on Facebook if I had 5 people show up to hear the presentation. And I did that, and I purchased one oil, which was On Guard, and started using that. But I was so excited about what I heard at that class, I started sharing it with everybody that I knew, and I had the book. I got the book, and we just started looking up everybody's ailments. It's kind of like a game. Let's see what this says. Let's see what this says. And the way I became a wellness advocate is the person who enrolled me said, you're already doing the business. You might as well come on board and start building a business. So that's how I got to be a wellness advocate. And it was something that I really loved sharing with people, how that they could find a way to be healthy without using pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, that's so great. I never knew that you just started with one oil. I didn't know that about your story. So, but it opened up a whole new opportunity for you.
But I didn't know anything at all about this or how to
Yeah.
help people. So absolutely the Essential Life book was
So
key.
it was organic for you because you were already sharing, and then your enroller just said, maybe you should get paid for what you're doing, right?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you share a little bit about the support that we have that,
Well,
helps us all?
yeah, like I said, so the person who enrolled me, which is our enroller, they helped, she helped me to launch my doTERRA business. I certainly wasn't alone. I followed her as she did classes and shadowed her. And then whenever I had people over, she would come and help me. So you definitely aren't alone whenever you start this. You always have someone there to support you. And what I really love that's happening right now with our team is every week we have our wellness workshops. So I don't have to worry about teaching a class every week, even now for myself, even though I've been doing this for a while. It's so much easier to invite somebody to the wellness workshop. We can invite people from other parts of the country. We can invite family members, our coworkers, just tell them, hey, pop in on Thursday night and listen to our class. And I think that makes people feel very comfortable because they don't feel obligated to do something when they're doing it that way. So I'm really appreciative of these. And the nice thing about it for someone new coming in is, if you get on there on a Thursday night, you're going to see a lot of people who have been doing this for a long time. And we're all still learning, but it helps us to hear the flow of the class. It helps us to hear new things. Each of us have a different story to tell. And so it's a consistent way to get training for ourselves and it's a reoccurring event that we can funnel people in to learn. And in these workshops, we always direct them to the person who invited them, so you don't ever have to worry about that, well, they're going to take my people if I invite them on there. And like I said, wellness advocates are welcome to attend. Some of us just sit in the bleachers and listen and learn, because we all learn from each other. And so if you can even take a turn on teaching some of the classes if you want to. And then we also have a team website that's really awesome to use for training and resources, because we can work our way through step by step. And on that page, we have access to scripts and trainings and product knowledge, what to say guides, and everything that you need along the way. It's like a one-stop shop that you can just click on at any time. And the cool thing is that it's always evolving as things come available. Our team keeps it up to date, so you can always find everything that you need there. And it's very clear and easy to understand step-by-step guides, so that you will know everything. And if you have questions about something, you always have someone to ask. A couple things that are really important, I feel, are our Facebook groups. We have our Drop by Drop group, which is a support group for all the things about supplements, oils, and wellness. It's a great group for customers and for wellness advocates, and also for potential customers who are just starting to learn. You can always search in there and find conversations and questions that have been asked in the past. And if you don't see something there, you can always ask. And there's always people jumping on willing to share what they know. And then one of the other cool groups is our metabolic makeover group, which is a very specific and education about our MetaPower line. And again, it's for anyone who wants to explore and learn and have continued support on the MetaPower system. And not just education, it's a really good place to go for like personal support. If you feel you're struggling with something, there's always somebody on there who's been through what you've been through, or that you can share with someone else that might be struggling. But there's also topical online classes for continuing education almost on a weekly basis, where you and your customers can kind of dive into more specific topics. And like, for instance, thyroid support, oils for babies or for pets. And I think one last week was about emotional eating. That was a really cool one. So those are really nice to have access to. And then, of course, if you do decide to do the business, we have business support groups as well. And we're encouraged to be on at least one that is run by one of our diamond or above leaders, depending on what your direct upline recommends. And you want to talk to your enroller to see which group that they feel would be the best for you personally. But these also, we have a very specific business support group every Monday evening. We call it Monday Meetup. And that's so enjoyable because it's my opportunity personally. I love getting on, and we have people on there from all around the country, and we even have people from other parts of the world that get on there, and it's very encouraging and supportive. So these are resources that everyone who comes into doTERRA has the opportunity to experience along the way. And it can be a basic overview, but the main thing that you want to know is that you're not going to be alone in this process. And there is a bunch of opportunity to learn. Our team is very strong on helping one another, and we have very experienced people who've been doing this for a very long time, and they're always there to help you every step of the way.
Yeah, that's awesome, Twinka. So really, I mean, in summary, what I hear you saying is, number one, you don't have to create anything. It's already done for you. I mean, from graphics to anything, handouts. Number two, you don't need to run any of your own Facebook groups. You can simply just plug people into existing communities and let them learn and receive that support. So one thing that plays a big role in the success of growing a doTERRA income is the power of testimonials. We encourage our customers to share, whether it's on a Zoom like this or on a Facebook group or in an in-person event, just to share the stories of how the products have impacted their lives. and they're powerful. I know when I teach a class, I've got people in there saying, hey, I used, the On Guard or the MetaPower, and this is what it did for me. Others are learning about that and they're wanting it. And I'm not even having to like sell them on anything. Those testimonial stories are powerful. And that's a lot of how we learn from each other. And it's really rewarding, as an advocate, just to get the thank you messages or the success messages from people, to hear how it's impacting their loved ones or their lives. It is overwhelming. I never really felt like I had that kind of meaningful reward when I was owning a salon. It was fun, but I just didn't have that kind of impact. And so it's been really rewarding. And so I actually asked Twinka if she'd be willing to share a testimonial example of just someone. I know you probably have 1,000 stories, but can you think of one maybe recently where someone has come to you and shared how the doTERRA products that you shared with them have impacted their lives or their
Well,
life?
actually, I thought I would share my story.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it's pretty impactful. And, sometimes when we think about doTERRA, we just think about essential oils. But as someone becomes more knowledgeable about doTERRA, they're going to find out that our number one selling product is our lifelong vitality. I have to tell you, the last thing on earth I wanted to do when I started using doTERRA oils was to swallow pills. But in 2016, for some reason, my body just decided that my knees were not going to hold me up. And I actually fell on a dance floor and had to be carried off of it and absolutely could not walk. My daughter had to help me to the bathroom. I couldn't go up the stairs to my bedroom. It was really a bad situation and I didn't know what was wrong. So of course I went to the doctor and had an MRI, and the orthopedic surgeon's answer to that was, you're just getting old. This was in 2016. I was not getting old. And he said, just go home and take 750 milligrams of a pharmaceutical product and you'll be just fine. And I was like, okay, that's not a good enough answer for me. Well, at that point, I decided it was time to start taking Lifelong Vitality. And so I started taking Lifelong Vitality as directed on the package, along with the deep blue polyphenols. And within just a few weeks, I was able to start walking my dogs. I had 4 at the time that I had been walking all together. And I started being able to walk one at a time, just up the block and back, and eventually got my strength back. But I was thinking about that this morning when I was walking my dog, that if I go without my Lifelong Vitality, I really, really can feel it. And that's something that I don't ever want to be without. So that's my story.
That's
And
powerful. I
and
have a feeling you've probably inspired others to take Lifelong Vitality for inflammation and joints and pain because, your story is so impactful. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to bring Dana back on. And Dana's going to explain something. We're going to get into a little bit more of the mechanics of how the income piece works in doTERRA. I'm going to get into the comp plan a little later, but she's going to explain something else, just something really special about how doTERRA works on the back end, that contributes to our paychecks being robust and dependable. So I won't spoil it. I'm just going to turn it over to her.
Yeah, thanks, Tanya. So I am so excited because I get to talk about our customer retention rate and why this is so incredibly significant, especially compared to other companies. doTERRA actually has the highest retention rate in the industry, which is it's unprecedented. The average retention rate in the direct selling industry is between 13 and 20%. And I really, I told you guys I was not in sales at all. So I didn't know anything about this business side when I started. I remember studying the comp plan. I mean, like studying the comp plan and trying to understand it and discussing it with my husband and seeing the retention rate and going, is this why this comp plan works so well? And it is why the comp plan works so well, is this retention rate that I'm going to tell you about. So doTERRA's retention rate, the average is 13 to 20%. doTERRA's is actually 65%. That's based on quarterly orders. And most customers are actually on monthly ordering because of our fantastic loyalty rewards subscription program. Our annual retention rate is 73%. So this is huge, guys, huge. The retention rate actually tells us three things. It tells us, number one, that people love our products. Number two, that people love being rewarded for purchasing monthly. So that's part of our loyalty rewards program. And number three, and probably the most important, is that people are really feeling better. Otherwise, why would they continue to order products month after month, right? So there's a few things that doTERRA does exceptionally well that I want to actually tell you about. Hang on a second. I'm sorry. Maybe sitting outside in the pollen isn't such a good idea. All right. So basically, doTERRA has two separate tracks you could choose. We have the wholesale customer track and we have the wellness advocate track. 91% of the open accounts in doTERRA are actually customer accounts. So they're in the customer track. This means that the majority of the people who are ordering every month, month after month, are simply customers who are loving their product and feeling better. And that's really important to our business. Really, really important. That means that we're leading with product. And that's super important. Now, the doTERRA Loyalty Rewards Program, or the LRP, if you hear us talking about LRP, that's what that means, is highly effective. The doTERRA gives both customers and wellness advocates a percentage back on every order that we place through this program. Customers are getting a little kickback when they purchase what they need, because they can then redeem those points for product. So it's kind of like, it's almost like dollars, these points are. So customers and advocates can also earn free shipping. We get a free product of the month if we order 125 PV before the 15th. There's also special ways to bundle our supplements together. Some of you may have seen that already, where you can buy this and then it's even deeper discounts so that people can afford to get what they need. So the LRP program keeps our costs down and helps us to grow a really loyal customer base with people who regularly reorder. So that's really foundational to our income and our income stream. So one of the differences between wholesale customer accounts and wholesale advocates accounts, so remember I said there's two tracks, is that customers have a referral link. When you naturally share about your results, or then a product that you love, it could be the Deep Blue, it could be the Meta Power, it could be the Serenity Sleep System, whatever it is that you love, and you share that, you can give, customers can give a personal referral link that doTERRA gives them, or gives you, and then when your friend purchases with that referral link, you get rewarded 20% back of that purchase in doTERRA dollars. And it's really just like an in-store credit that can be spent on free product for yourself. So you get a thank you gift as a store credit. And this gives us a way to encourage our customers to share without having to be a distributor or a wellness advocate or build a business or anything like that. So our customers naturally share what they love, and this is brilliant. And doTERRA wants to reward them for doing that. But the best part, I love this, the best part about the Brilliant Refer a Friend program is that customers are given, customers that give that link and they share with their friend, that order is credited to you, the wellness advocate, as their enroller. So you're paid commission on it. So the customer gets their thank you kickback and you get commission as their enroller. So that is really, really awesome. So doTERRA is rewarding the customer and they're rewarding you with your commission for teaching your customers how to share their links. So this creates endless leads for you to help you grow your doTERRA stream of income. So a wellness advocate account is exactly the same as a wholesale customer account, with one key difference. Wellness advocates, so us, we have the ability to earn actual income from doTERRA. Instead of being paid in doTERRA dollars or in-store credit, we actually get paid real money that we can put into our bank account for sharing doTERRA with others. So it's either a shopping spree for customers or it's cold hard cash for the wellness advocates. So that's kind of the key difference between the two. Now, doTERRA's retention rate is not a fluke. It has been steady for the entire life of the company. Our products are reliable, they help with people's health, and they prompt people to share with others. So this is not a fluke. It's not going to change. We are, how old are we now? 15 years old, 16 years old. So yeah, so this retention rate's it's not going to change because it's been steady the whole time. So basically, you're going to get to decide. There's a lane for everybody. If you want to stay over here in the customer lane, and then you can stay in the customer lane, and you're going to be rewarded, and we're going to help you, and we're going to support you, and we're going to thank you. But if you're thinking, I'm really already sharing this with a lot of people, like Twinkle was talking about, she was already sharing with a lot of people, I might as well get some money dropped into my bank account, and you want to take advantage of the support that our team provides for those folks, then hop over here into the Wellness Advocate lane. Either way, you're going to be benefiting from everything doTERRA provides and all the support that we have to offer you. So either choice, it's a great choice.
That was a very clear explanation. Thank you, Dana. So
Oh, you're welcome.
one thing that stood out to me in doTERRA, it stood out to me right away, and I've always loved it and appreciated it, is that doTERRA is a science and research company, and they take science and research so seriously. So they do a lot of clinical trials and clinical testing, and they do third-party testing. And then we've got like universities that have done research on our oils. We have a scientific advisory council at doTERRA. So not only do we have a quality product, but it's backed by research. And that means that as a wellness advocate, I have a lot of confidence offering our products to people. And I don't have that like worry about, am I offering something that, you know, is studied and is safe and is backed up, which is really helpful. So we're going to, I'm going to actually pop a link into the chat, because this is something called the doTERRA Build Guide, and anyone on here, and I know a lot of people just watch this based on a replay. I'll make sure when it's uploaded on YouTube to put the link to this in the description. So if you're watching the replay, go find it there so that you have a guide. It's like a booklet, several pages that actually explains the nitty-gritty about how you get paid. And I'm going to pop up a few pictures here in a little bit to show you the compensation. But I just wanted you to have the whole guide to go through on your own. So Dana's actually going to tell us a little bit about the stability of the company, and then I'll get into the actual compensation. Oh, hang on, Dana, I think you're muted.
Oh, there I am. So sorry. I had to run and get a drink of water, or I was going to like cough at you
and
guys.
If you have a tickle, you just let me know. If you need to
Okay.
flip it back over, I'll cover for you.
All right, hang on one second. I'm finding my spot because I had to run away. All right. Okay. So when we're looking at a wellness advocate organization, customer accounts typically are about 90%. Like I said a few minutes ago, about 91% of our open accounts are customer accounts. So that leaves about 10% of the organization or team's volume is going to be from the wellness advocate accounts. We basically like to do things in threes. So when you come on in as an advocate, your first goal is to find 3 business partners that you would love to work with. You might find someone whose company you enjoy a lot and you know they're a hard worker, or you might find someone who has influence and is a leader in your community, or someone who's looking to make some extra income and wants to diversify with another stream of income. Or it could be even somebody who's drawn in because they're wanting to do something more meaningful with their life. But the idea is that you're going to find your first 3 business partners, and then you're going to help them find their first 3. So doTERRA has been in business for, I said 15, I was really close, 16 years in 2024. And so we actually grew to $1 billion company in the first 7 years. That's the same growth rate as Apple, but with little bottles of oil. So that's really exciting. Today, doTERRA is a $2.5 billion debt-free company, which has positioned them to be an incredibly stable company, even in today's economy. There are 10 million customers globally, and you as a wellness advocate can choose to have customers and advocates under you from anywhere in the world. You can actually grow a global business if you want to, and that's really kind of cool and fun. doTERRA is the world's largest essential oil company. There are 7 founders, and together they have over 150 years of essential oil industry experience. The company is privately held, which is actually a really, really big deal because it means they can keep the success of their customers and their advocates at the front of every decision that's being made. They don't need to answer to investors, so they can stick to their commitment to never compromise on the purity or the quality of the oils and products that we produce. So you might be wondering, how many advocates and customers are there out there already? Well, in the United States population, we're at a 2.5% saturation rate. So we've got a really long way to go before saturation would ever be an issue. That means that like 97% of the population still doesn't use doTERRA. So there's a lot of people out there. Another really cool thing is that we're also seeing men do this business as well as couples. At this year's global convention, about 40% of the attendees were men. So this is also a huge presence of international advocates from all over the world. So this is truly a business that anybody can do. And there's a place for everybody at the table when it comes to doTERRA as a business and an additional stream of income.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen here. All right, you guys can see that. If you're in that build guide, you're gonna see this, and I just encourage you to dive into that, and you see that retention rate 65%. And this is just some of the strength, the pillars of strength in doTERRA. The product, its purity, the company, how it's proven and expanding, the impact, and the even, we didn't even get into like the global humanitarian, ethical sourcing, all of that, and healing hands, and some of those amazing things that doTERRA has going for it. But we're going to move on, and actually it's time to get into the compensation plan itself. And let me share it, make sure I'm on my compensation plan section here. There we go. Okay. So we're going to look at this page. If you're opening it up and looking at it, or you can just follow along on the screen. We're not going to get super into the weeds on this. It can be a little overwhelming to try to understand all of it, all of the financials, like right out the gate, because you learn that as you go. There's trainings for that you can access later, but we want you to be able to see some actual numbers, because for me, I was like, if I'm going to even think about doing this, like, please tell me what's possible to get paid, because I'm not going to embark on something new. I already have a business, and I've got 4 little kids, and my husband has a business, and I really have to be careful about what I commit my time to. I want to make sure that it can pay out. And so, if you're going to go back to school or take another career, you need to know what that's going to pay. And that's what we're here for, so that you have a general idea and that you can actually look visually at some numbers to see what's possible. So first of all, if you have questions as we go through this together, please write them down or put them in the chat. We'll make sure they get answered before you leave tonight. And we're going to share a link in the chat for actually, I already put that in, didn't I, for the bill guide? So you have that. So there's 4 ways that we get paid in doTERRA. You can see that chart on the right. You've got the green, the kind of beige, the gold, and that sort of rusty color at the bottom. Those are the 4 ways that doTERRA pays us. And the first thing we're going to talk about is our rank pay. Okay, and that's going to be in the sort of this mountain. I call it a mountain. You're kind of seeing the different levels going up. Those are different ranks in doTERRA. So as you enroll new customers, then you're going to have sales volume on your team. Okay. If there's people downline from you and they enroll people, that's going to contribute to your sales volume on your team. Oops, I hit a button. There we go. Now there's a dollar amount, and then there's what's called a PV amount. PV stands for product value, and it's our currency at doTERRA and how we measure our sales volume. And it's what they use, as you know, to calculate specials and that kind of things. And the reason we do that is because we're global. We're in lots of markets with lots of different currencies. So if you're selling something in the US and it's US dollars, or it's Canadian dollars, or you've got someone on your downline that is working in Europe and it's euros, it's all going to be converted with PV. So we have one common currency language to use. It keeps it simpler, and just think of it as our standard doTERRA currency. So the total volume of PV from purchases and sales on you and those under you, which is called your downline, is going to create something called organizational volume, and that's abbreviated as OV, okay? OV. So if you hear me talking about OV, that's organizational volume. That's how much sales are coming in a month. When you and anyone downline from you total 3,000 OV, then you would reach the rank of elite. And that's the first box that you see at the bottom there. Okay. And this is the first critical rank because it's going to start to affect your income. So it says here you'd have to enroll 15 people. It really isn't based on how many people you enroll. That's just giving you an estimate on average size of like how many customers it takes to do that. And but you know, it varies from person to person. But that's kind of just gives you a picture. Okay. So then you're going to see the next rank up, and that is called Premier. So Premier, oh, let me back up. On Elite, the average income is $365 a month. Okay. So, you know, that's more than enough to pay for, you know, your household products. So that's a good mark to hit if you're just wanting to get your product paid for. So Premier is that next rank. And you'll notice that under it, it has two little green boxes. That's labeled EX, that stands for executive, which is actually the rank below elite. That's a 2,000 OV. So if you have two people below you that hit the 2,000 organizational volume mark, they become executives, and you total have 5,000, you are now the rank of Premier, which brings in an average of $878 a month. Now, when we look at averages, there's a variety amongst people. It depends on how active you are each month. It depends on a lot of things, but these are legitimate numbers, incomes, commissions paid out to people per rank from doTERRA, and they take those averages. It's what's reported to the IRS. So you're going to have people making more, some people making less. These are averages. So just understand that these are averages. Okay, so that next rank up is silver, and we call this our first leadership rank. When we talk about threes, do you remember hearing we like to do things in threes? Well, this is what we're talking about. That concept really plays in here, because when you have three advocates under you, which we often call business partners, so you bring on three business partners and they achieve that first rank that you see there, the yellow one, elite, which do you remember? Pop quiz time. How much OV would that be? 3,000 each. So if each of them have that 3,000, you now reach the rank of silver, and an average silver income is over $2,500 a month. So the next rank is gold. I know I'm kind of rushing through this, but I want to respect your time. Just get a basic idea here. The next rank is gold, and at this level, you're working with those same three advocates, those business partners that you have, and you've helped each of them to get to elite, and now you've helped them to get to premier. So you see, you're helping people step up, and that's pushing you up further. And the average so when those three get to premier, you are now gold, and the average income for a gold is $55.87 a month. Now I'm going to say something about the averages. What I have seen, and I've been doing this over 11 years, and I'm a blue diamond, so I get to watch a lot of people on my downline achieve different ranks. What I typically see is when someone first achieves that rank, usually the income they're bringing in is below average. But as they continue to work and hit that rank again and again, and it becomes what we call solid, because those residual, that retention rate is coming in, those loyalty rewards are coming in, plus there's growth, and they're hitting that rank more solidly and consistently, then typically we see that average, and then we see them go above average before they're tipping into the next rank, a little bit below average, if that makes sense. So let's carry on and look at platinum. Is the next one. It's the one in black that says PL. At this rank, you're still working with those same business partners, those advocates under you. Although if someone quits, you know, you can work with someone else. But in concept, you're working with three people, and you're just supporting them up through elite, premier, onto silver. When they hit silver, that first leadership rank, now you are a platinum, and the average income for a platinum is around $10,000 a month, a little bit more than that. And then I love the rank of diamond. This is like where it just becomes so life-changing. And not that silver income isn't life-changing. A lot of times you get an extra $2,000 a month. What would that do for you? That really dramatically changes things for most people. That can be a mortgage for some people. That can be, you know, a couple car payments or investing into retirement. But let's look at diamond, because that's where massive impact really happens. So diamond, you'll notice, has 4 what we call legs. Okay, 4 silvers. So platinum, 3 silvers. So what has happened here? they've been working on bringing someone else on board and building what's called a fourth leg. When that leg gets to be silver, which you can put a lot of energy into that fourth leg when the other three are already silver, then you reach the rank of diamond. And we think of diamond as like the leader of leaders, okay? It's an upper leadership rank. And an average income for a diamond is over $17,000 a month, which is super cool because when I first started and heard about doTERRA, the average income for a diamond was $10,000 a month. And now platinum is over that. So it's actually increased over time, which is really, really neat to see. So the last two ranks we're going to talk about, the top two ranks are blue diamond and presidential diamond. And we've had our 4 silvers that have, we're just pretending here, you've hit diamond, you have your 4 silvers. Now you're going to add a 5th as you're working on your business. You're going to add a 5th. You're going to help those 4 silvers rank up to gold. When I say help, they're working, they're building their business. You're supporting them, you're teaching them, you're working as a team, and you're learning how to lead people. And as they're working up towards gold, you've added a 5th leg, and you're going to support and help that person to become a gold. And when you have 5 that have hit gold, you're a blue diamond. The average income for a blue diamond is over $41,000 a month. And then presidential, it's the same concept. I think you're starting to get it. Those 5 working up to platinum, when they hit platinum, and then you've added a 6th one in, six, and that one hits platinum, you're now a presidential diamond. And the average income for a presidential diamond is $114,000. Well, it's over $114,000 a month, which I know sounds crazy, you guys, but there's a lot of people doing that in doTERRA. It's a rank I'm working on. I've been a blue diamond for a while. It's really real, and it's pretty amazing. Okay, so a fast start bonus, think of it as quick money in your pocket. So when you enroll someone, you share doTERRA, maybe you're sharing the LLV like Twinka has with someone, they want to get it and they enroll, or MetaPower or an oil kit. When they enroll as a wholesale customer or an advocate, either one, doTERRA is going to pay you 20% of the PV amount of that order weekly. Fast Start pays out weekly. Now, the really cool thing is when you help someone to get oils, the person who's your enroller, they're going to get paid 10% on that same order, whether they've met that person or not. And their enroller is going to get paid 5% on that order. So Fast Start goes 3 levels up, which also means, let's reverse that. When you enroll an advocate and they go out and share with someone, they get the 20%. Now you get the 10%. Now, if that person they just enrolled decides to become an advocate and they enroll someone, you're going to be in that 5% bracket. So a lot of your Fast Start checks are actually coming out of that 10 and 5% of people that are actually out there sharing. So it's a really cool way to keep us motivated. And in that early phase, the majority of your paycheck will come from Fast Start. Another part of the comp plan is the unilevel bonus. This is actually the biggest moneymaker, and it is the most stable part of our compensation plan. And so it's basically what we call our pipeline. While you're getting paid Fast Start, you're building your pipeline, and that is your unilevel pay. So this is paid out monthly, and it is based on the level that someone is sitting on your downline. So once when someone new buys oils and they get that free wholesale account, you get paid faster on their first couple of months of being a customer. After that, you get paid unilevel instead of Fast Start, and whatever level they're sitting on below you is going to determine the percentage you get on their orders forever. Okay, the really, really cool thing about our unilevel bonus is that it is flipped upside down from what most companies have, what most companies pay out. Usually they pay out a higher percentage on the levels right below you. And as your organization deepens, the percentage that they pay out becomes less and less. But you're going to have more people on the lower levels because it's going to fan out when something called duplication kicks in. And you've got advocates enrolling people and they've got people enrolling people. And so would you rather get paid the higher percentage on the level where you only have a few people? Or would you like that higher percentage to be down on our level 7 where you may have a lot more people there? So doTERRA has done some really neat things where they have shown us they'll take They'll take another compensation plan from another company, and they've done this with many other companies, so we can see it. And they'll take an organization and say, there was this much sales volume on level 1, this much sales volume on level 2, this much sales volume on level 3, and they'll build out an amount of OV volume and how much is on each level. And then they'll run it through each compensation plan to see what the payout is that it spits out. And doTERRA beats every company hands down every time because of this upside down unilevel payout. And you can see when you're first getting started, you maybe got 3 people on your first level. Okay, that's going to pay out like $9 on their orders. Not that much, but as this pipeline grows, it's an exponential growth. By the time you're down to level 7, you've got a lot more people on that level, and you're getting 7% on more people, and it's paying out like $32,000. So when you're wondering, well, where does that big income come from on those higher ranks? It's because they have bigger organizations, and this unilevel upside down model is kicking in. We have another really cool bonus you can start earning right away called the Power of 3 bonus. And this is based on those groupings of 3. And this is rewarding you for sharing the loyalty rewards program with people. And so when you have 3 people on your first level that are ordering on the loyalty rewards program, that's that monthly order. Even if they're changing up their items, if it's 100 PV order, it counts as one of those 3. When you and everyone on your front level has a total of 600 in volume, and 3 of them are LRP customers at that 100 level, you get a $50 bonus every month just for having that structure. But the really cool thing is how this duplicates, because when you teach those 3 people to go get their $50 bonus, which dramatically helps people, it pays for half of their order each month. They get that $50 bonus, but yours turns into a $250 bonus. And I like to think of this as just a cherry on top of your regular commissions that you get. And then it goes a 3rd level deep. So when those people that are ordering learn how to get their $50 bonus, of course, the 3 on your first level are now earning their $250. You now are getting an extra $1,500 a month cherry on top. So really nice. I don't know many households where an extra $1,500 a month doesn't make a big impact right there. And then the leadership bonus, this also plays into why the income raises with certain ranks. These are profit shares that are split amongst people at different ranks. And so once you hit premier and above, you start earning different profit shares. And this is not based on your sales or your downline sales. This is based on the whole company, the like North American market that you're in, or whichever market you're in. They take a percentage of the profits that month, and then they look at everyone that is hitting premier is getting this share. Everyone that's hitting silver is getting these shares. Everyone who's hitting gold gets these shares. And the higher in rank you go, the more shares are offered to you, and the bigger the pools you're getting a piece of pie off of. So that you don't need to know all those percentages, just know that that does play into that income growth. So if this is intriguing to you, and you even just want to dip your toe in a little bit of what does it look like to share doTERRA, I want to invite you to come and invite people to our wellness workshop on Thursday. We have this almost every Thursday. This month, we are not having it on April 11th, but every other Thursday. So we're having one coming up in 2 days on April 4th. We will be having Healthy from the Inside Out Wellness Workshop. This is a basic intro to doTERRA products. It's very compelling. We see people like to enroll from this all the time. And we go over the root causes of disease. We go over nutrition and the importance of supplements, specifically lifelong vitality and gut health, and then the metabolic part where we talk about MetaPower, and then essential oil usage. And it's a great overview, and people see that there's some starter kits. And if you were to come and invite people, then we want to help them to enroll with you. Whether you're a customer and you want to just use a referral link and get some product credit, account credit, we can help you with that. But if you want to try being an advocate, just talk to your upline. They'll help you get your account set up so that you're an advocate. And when those people want to register, they'll help you, show you like, this is the link you use to send to them. And when they order through your link, you're going to get that first Fast Start paycheck. And try it out and just see how easy it is when you're authentically sharing with people and introducing them to something that you love. Just tell people why you love these products and invite them to come and learn. That is a great way to try that. Continue to just talk to your upline, your enroller. If you want to do more with this, then they're going to help you And we have all the tools right here. Twinka mentioned it on our team website, which is bit.ly/doTERRA-onboard-site. And you can also use the QR code, and it's just one simple landing page. You start at the top, you're going to see a replay of a Zoom like we did tonight. If you want to go back over how you get paid, earning income with doTERRA, and then you go, that build guide is there. And then the next one is called your onboarding training. If you want to start building a stream of income, you would just go to that onboarding training. You're going to see me teaching a video, and it's a pause and play. That's how I like to learn. Pause, and they'll tell you, okay, go do this, go set up your direct deposit so that you can get paid. Play. Okay, I'm going to show you where your website is, where you can send people to order through you. You go do that. It's simple. You go back and play. And I'm going to walk you through how to get started building your stream of income. And then every resource you're going to need is on that page. And then you're going to have a whole team helping you along the way. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. Do we have any questions in the chat? I don't see any questions in the chat, so I think we're good there. So I'll just wish everyone a good night. Thank you so much for being on with us.